Hi, Leo. This is going to be your July 2020 forecast for health, wealth, love, and destiny. It is good for the sun, rising moon, or Venus sign of Leo. Please keep in mind, as always, this is a general reading. It's not a personal reading, so it's not going to resonate with all of you because it isn't meant for just one of you. Check your rising moon or Venus sign. You could find your messages there. If you want a message to resonate with you 100%, book a private reading with me. The link to my website is in the description below. There are 8 billion people on the planet, and surely not all of you are going through the same thing. This should resonate with whomever needs to hear it the most at the right time for the right reasons. If you're a cross watcher, you're welcome to view the message, but I don't encourage cross watching. You might have to reverse the roles if you're a cross watcher. Please keep your comments constructive if you are a cross watcher or a Leo. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope these messages help you. I think that you guys are going to have a pretty good month, Leo. And I think what this month will be about for my Lion Gang is about trusting in divine detours. Before I even pulled the spread and I was meditating on your sign, I was watching someone watch something happening in front of them. And you wanted to jump in initially, but you didn't. And I watched this person watching this group of something going on. And the more you watched, the more your eyebrows raised to the point where you were like, what? And so I was not at all surprised that Watch and Wait came out and Trust in Divine Detours came out in reverse as well. I was like, okay, I get it. In the past, moving into July, the moon, the energy of Pisces, up until this point, you were operating in veiled moonlight in some situations. There was a vagueness, there was an instability, there was an insecurity about some parts of your life. Things were not as they seemed, a lot of uncertainty moving forward. You felt as though things were being hidden from you, or you were hiding things from yourself. You had this deep niggling feeling inside and something just bothers you. I think that's coming to an end because you guys end on, let me save you the suspense, you end on the 10 of cups and judgment. So making great judgment calls for yourself at a real crossroads where you know you have to make a major choice that will lead to an absolute ending of some kind in your life, where you will make a major decision and learn a major lesson and you absolutely know what you want. And this big judgment call and judgment day will bring a rebirth from within, and it will bring emotional stability. But it's all about the timing. Seahorse came out for your first. Watch and Wait. Seahorse is this great message. It's kind of a message of not my circus, not my monkeys, if that makes any sense. When Watch and Wait comes, you are meant to be a neutral observer. So July is going to be about reminding yourself that you need to remain neutral and kind of hold still and watch something from afar. This happens when we're meant to gain perspective. I think that anything that you don't understand up until this point will reveal itself in July. Your guides are telling you, watch and wait. It's a time to gain perspective. Trusting in divine detours. You have been in situations up until July where you felt like you were just being led on this topsy turvy journey. I really like the message of Coyote Spirit when it comes in reverse. It is the protection message, and I really feel as though you need to hear it. This will explain all the rest of the cards, I think. Sometimes a goal is so enticing and alluring that you lose your footing in the pursuit of it. You begin to fixate on capturing this prize, whether it be an opportunity you've always wanted, a relationship with that elusive someone, or the promise of quote unquote that big break. Coyote Spirit warns you that this trickster energy seducing you now will yield nothing but disappointment and unnecessary heartache if you let yourself be fooled. Great Spirit wants the best for you, so when your plans go topsy-turvy, know that Coyote Spirit is present to protect and bless you. Listen to her gentle warning not to take the world too seriously or become too attached to the form and timing of your desire. So don't become attached to the form and timing. Something better is beckoning. If you learn your lessons and lighten your heart, it will not be long before you see that crooked though the path may have been, you were on the right one all along. So, wow, I see that you've had this month will be about watching and waiting. trusting in the divine detours. They happen for a reason. Now isn't quite the time to strike. With Rabbit in reverse, now is a lucky time, and Porcupine in reverse, time for a beginner's mindset. I think you guys want something to get off the ground, and it's time for you to just watch and wait, because the divine detours and trickster energy you've been dealing with, you might have been chasing something in the wrong way for the wrong reasons at the wrong time. Or I could be picking up on an energy around you that's sort of being elusive with you. Just watch, just wait, just observe, because you will eventually get to that place where, like I said, when my vision, what I saw was someone's just going to raise their eyebrows and go, no, I think it's time to move on. And I think you will. I have 10 here, I have two aces, and I have the world. So, at the center of it all for you, Leo, the universe, the world, the end of a cycle, integration, completion, an ending, a sense of belonging, the tectonic breath between one pause and the next, or one cycle and the next, where we pause, we do life review, and we're ready to start a new cycle with a new beginner's mindset. I think something does complete for you in July, and the world, you may feel on top of the world about it at the end of the month, and you will realize the world really is at my fingertips when we have completions where communication is good. Some of you are graduating, some of you are coming to some endings in your life. Some of them may be hard for you, because I have a 10 of Swords and a 10 of Cups. um, I see this ending coming for you, and I think that you will feel resolved about it. The challenge is the 10 of Swords in reverse. The challenge is, how can I have these endings without it hurting? How can I have an ending that will allow me to recover and regenerate after some betrayal and loss and crisis? Some of you, the challenge will be avoiding an inevitable painful ending. But when the 10 of Swords comes in reverse, it's out of the ashes the phoenix will rise, defiance over defeat. The challenge may be, how can I complete a cycle without it bringing crisis, pain, or loss in my life or those around us? I think it's almost like you decide to end something your way. And the universe and the world can also mean like travel, relocation as well, making big changes in our life, because it will keep you from going through crisis. I like that. I think some of you are thinking about moving, because I have a couple cards here that indicate you might, or you're thinking about making a big major change that might even involve relocation or travel for work or something like that. What's driving you guys? Knight of Swords and the Chariot. It's carpe diem, eh, Leo? The Chariot knows exactly where the hell it's going, and the Knight of Swords, well, he doesn't always know where he's going, but he goes rushing right in anyways. The Knight of Swords is a leader. The Knight of Swords is very brave, and he's very direct too. He's very daring. He will seize the moment, go out on a limb. It's where we're ambitious and action oriented and driven to succeed. We're very fast thinking. We're willing to take a risk. You're going to go diving right in. And the Chariot is such a similar energy. Both can be a little difficult to control. Whenever I see the Knight of Swords, I get a little nervous. Sometimes he can be kind of a jerk when he talks. He'll just open his mouth. He'll just go right in. He's like, sit down. I'll take the lead. Thanks very much. I think I'll be taking a little bit of a risk, but I'm not going to hold back. I'm going to seize the moment. It's very inspiring energy, but I like that the Chariot's here with it, because the Chariot is difficult to control. We have a light and a dark side. We have this, the yin and the yang, the darkness and the light, and we control it. The Chariot is where you are completely accountable for where you're going, and you will not look back. You are very driven to succeed and move forward in a situation. And I think you're doing it on your own. I see some travel. I see some relocation. I see a new car, possibly. I see you guys really going for it here. To bring completion to a cycle, the challenge will just be knowing that you don't want it to be painful for yourself or anyone else around you. Some of you are getting away from something that's like this, which I think is good. I see you moving on and moving forward. The Chariot is about success. And I think you realize, I kind of just have to go for it here. Yep. This could be a harsh word you have for a person or two, and then you just get in your car and go. At least you're accountable for where you're going. Just saying. Sorry, cross watchers. That's what they got to do, apparently. In the past, that's contributing most to this moment, to July. Death in reverse, the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. So this is Scorpio. When death comes in reverse, there is an ending and a transformation, and there is a death and a rebirth. But when death is in reverse, it's more of an inner purging and a personal transformation. And we are kind of afraid of what grows in the place of what dies. But because the universe or the world is here, and because you guys seem so driven, and because you're seeing yourselves as the King of Cups and the Ace of Swords in reverse, I see that you guys had to go through a major transformation. Some of you, when I see the Ten of Swords and death in reverse, some of you have had a major health crisis, or someone close to you has. They might have even had a brush with death, but they've come out on the other side, or you've come out on the other side. And I think it was a situation where you weren't totally free. The Nine of Pentacles is about abundant luxury, self-sufficiency, and financial independence. In reverse, it's where we question our own self-worth. Did we overinvest in something? Did we get hustled? Did we hustle somebody else? Did somebody want reward with no work? Was somebody shallow? Was I totally free in this situation? I think you guys moving into July are coming out of a death and a rebirth scenario and working on knowing your own self worth. I think you might have been in a situation with a person that was just not trying to impress you, and they said they would make some changes, and you thought there would be transformation, and there just wasn't. So you're kind of like, I don't want to hurt anybody here, but I think this is ending for me. For some of you, it's like you've completed a cycle with a job and you're moving on to something better, or you're finishing school or university or something, and you will be recovering from some financial issues. You're very close to gaining that independence. I think you do want to move forward. What you're thinking about, though, in July, three cards came out, and I was like, oh, I usually only want to take one or two, but Leo's my favorite sign. Don't tell the other zodiac signs. Leo is my favorite sign. It's for totally personal reasons. I love all zodiac signs, but I can't say no to Leo. Like I can't say no to Lion Gang. So Three of Pentacles in reverse, Eight of Swords. You're feeling a little trapped in your head, but the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. So I think you're thinking in July that you will be in a situation where you kind of feel trapped and your hands are tied. It's a self-imposed restriction. It's a victim mentality. It's a lot of negative thoughts, really trapped in your head about something. And I think it's something that you don't see long-term success in. Like there's a lacking in vision, there was limited success and reward. And furthermore, nobody was cooperating. This could be a relationship or a group dynamic, or even, the Three of Pentacles is where we learn something and then we implement what we learn, and we work as a team and we collaborate, and we're recognized and rewarded very early on for what we bring to the table. And when I see this card combination, what I'm seeing here for you, Leo, is you're like, shit, I don't like the way I feel here. I feel trapped. I feel stuck. I'm overthinking it, that's for sure. And I feel like my hands are tied. It's kind of almost emotionally karmic for me. I don't align in value. And there's a lacking in commitment. There could be some third party interference or some triangulations. I can't implement what I learn here. And I'm tired of just patiently waiting to see the fruits of my labor. The Seven of Pentacles does feel almost futile. We plant a garden and he stands there and he watches a money tree grow. And you think, when am I going to get to stop tilling the field? When do I see my money tree grow? When am I going to see a return on my investment? I think you realize you're in a situation with work or a relationship or, a living situation or something where you're like, okay, I'm in my chariot. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go and be on top of the world. I don't want to get hurt in this situation. And I want to recover from endings that have hurt me in the past and regenerate. I'm tired of being trapped in my head, and I'm tired of patiently waiting. I'm not able to implement and learn. I'm not being recognized and rewarded here. As a matter of fact, I'm starting to feel like I can't be committed in this situation, and I'm trapped in my head. I'm out. I got to go. This isn't working for me. I get it. That happens, when we feel like we misalign with people. I think in your actions, though, I can see a little bit more of a story here. This is a situation where, with the Nine of Wands in reverse to the Three of Wands in reverse, at one point, you were really hanging in there. You were resilient. You were courageous. You were persistent. It will be a test of faith. You have to have really good boundaries to make it through a cycle in July. But I see you guys being really, really overwhelmed in July. It might be a struggle. You're overwhelmed. You might become a little defensive and paranoid. Remember what the animal oracle said. There's a reason you had to step back. It wasn't the right timing. Trust in the divine detours. That porcupine spirit is like, you're at the beginning of something. You're feeling like you need to protect yourself. You have your spikes out. Make sure you make it clear to those around you that you're overwhelmed. And, the Nine of Wands is life is a battlefield, love is a battlefield. I do see you guys feeling overwhelmed. I see you kind of throwing in the towel with something that makes you feel trapped and completing the cycle the way you need to, getting away from pain and moving on because there's a situation, or you really want to, because something in July overwhelms you and you're like, I feel like my wings are clipped in this situation. I feel like I have to play it small. There's all these unexpected delays. I don't see a future here. I kind of lack confidence. Make sure you don't hold on to the past. For some of you, you do want to travel and relocate, but the timing isn't right. Just have good boundaries and hang in there. But I think you're in a situation where you don't see growth potential in the 3D with the pentacles or with passionate and, passion as well. The way you see yourself, though, King of Cups to the Ace of Swords in reverse. Some of you have water in your chart, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. You see yourself as having emotional mastery. You see yourself as emotionally balanced and compassionate and diplomatic. A king creates the environment. He doesn't gush. The knights gush. The pages dip their toe in the water. The queen will create the environment. The king kind of steps back, and it's like, look, I love you and I'm here when you want me. I'm going to be a grown up in this situation. I think you see yourself this way as very emotional and compassionate, but you can't gush. You can't get down off the horse. You can't get off the throne. You have to do what you got to do and hold still. I think you're rethinking something in July. This is the Ace of Swords is about a breakthrough and clarity and success and having a new idea. I think July for you will be about holding still and finding inner clarity. I think you feel like your judgment is a little clouded in a situation. It's just because you're rethinking an idea. Holding still, wanting to rule your whole life with your heart, the heart of a lion, right? Some of you are focused on a water sign you can't have a breakthrough yet. You just hold still, okay? And I think it's that coyote spirit, coming out with the divine detours and watching and waiting. You're rethinking something, holding still with your emotional mastery. A person around you, I clarified this. This could be anyone in your life, the one you're thinking about the most. They see themselves as the Six of Cups in reverse. This is a person from the past. This person lives in the past a little bit. This might have been a burned bridge between you and someone else. They lack playfulness at this point. They may seek forgiveness, but this person does not recall the past times fondly at this point. And the way they feel, I was like, ooh, who's this? King of Swords in reverse and Justice in reverse. This could be a Libra. This could have to do with a legal matter. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius here. I have Pisces here twice with the High Priestess in reverse and the Hangman. This person's doing a little bit of the blame game. The King of Swords in reverse and Justice in reverse is a person who's mad. They won't examine the cause and effect. They kind of can't handle the truth, and they do a lot of the blame game. This person can't think of a good strategy and take full authority in a way that's appropriate, and they can't bring justice or balance in their feelings with you. And they seem like they're haunted by the past as well. I see a person that won't let go of the past. Watch out for a person playing devil's advocate and misusing their power and being angry with you. I think they're just pissed because they can't get the last word, or there might be some blaming that goes on. They kind of can't handle the truth, maybe. Be careful with, what they do. Their action towards you is the High Priestess in reverse and the Hangman. I think that this is a person that will use the silent treatment in order to gain some power in the situation because they're clinging to the past. And I think it's making you be pulled back as well. That's why I think you really want to go and you rethink something in July, because you're like, look, I'm the King of Cups, yo. I'm rethinking this whole thing. I can get in my chariot and go. This person ghosts. They withdraw into silence. They say they need alone time. They disconnect energetically. They might like you to chase them. They might like to chase other people, in particular young promiscuous people, worst case scenario. And the hangman, they, for whatever reason, they just withdraw into silence because they need to put this whole thing on pause and see it from a different perspective. They just want to let go and surrender to things they can't change. I think they're mad and angry. I think they know the situation needs justice and balance, and they can't figure out how to get there. So their knee-jerk reaction may be to withdraw. Worst case scenario, though, this person's throwing the past in your face and being manipulative. Best case scenario, they just don't know where to go moving forward and they can't hear their intuition and they're having a hard time having intellectual authority in the situation and finding fairness. Something might have gone down in court too. The way you're feeling, Page of Pentacles in reverse to the Ace of Wands in reverse. I actually like this card combination. It's pretty human. What you'll be feeling in July, Leo, is I'm not quite ready to manifest something. I'm not ready to develop something in the 3D yet because you might feel a lack of progress or a procrastination, like the Oracle card suggested. It's just meant to give you a chance to learn from failure. The Page of Pentacles in reverse is like a back to the drawing board kind of feeling, very much so. And I think that's what you'll be going through. And I think you do want new starts. You'll be thinking about new starts with growth potential that inspire you with opportunities, but there are delays. It's an emerging idea. There's just some distractions and delays. So think about the growth potential of something you want to explore or study in your life. This could be about school. This could be about a job. This could be about, pages deliver and receive communication or information. And a Page of Pentacles in reverse can be a young earth sign, or it can be a skill development, a financial opportunity, or just a manifestation into the 3D. I think you feel like in July, you have to delay some things and find your growth potential in a situation. I think you procrastinate something a little bit for a reason. You're just going to psychoanalyze it a bit and learn from failure, waiting for the right time. I think it's about timing here for you, especially with this Three of Wands in reverse and the Chariot and the Knight of Swords. I know you're busting at the seams to go. Just remember what Coyote Spirit said and Seahorse Spirit of watch and wait. Just idle in the garage, okay? Get the engine running. Get it good and tuned up. And then you can go when it's time. When the timing is right. But what you're ending on, it turns out the divine timing and the detours were meant to be there all along. You're ending on something great. The Ten of Cups to Judgment. So this could be a person around you, yes, but I believe this, this was meant to be you. Ten of Cups is harmony and it's transcendence and emotional stability. It's divine love. It's blissful relationships. It's happy endings and making a good judgment call. I see you guys getting to a place by the end of July where it's Judgment Day and you have a couple choices in front of you and you know you want to pick the one that makes you feel free. This is Libra. This is Scorpio. We hear our angel. We cannot ignore the inner calling. It's a heavy moment, but I see that you want to make a judgment call in your life moving into the rest of the summer and into the fall that will bring total emotional transcendence, happy, blissful relationships and blissful families, endings that feel good, and knowing that the challenge will be getting over any pain and crisis from the past and avoiding this in order to get this Ten of Cups as opposed to this Ten of Swords feeling. Yeah. Just remember what your oracle advice was. The animal oracles and spirits will help guide you. I think they gave you good advice. All right, Leo. So that is your message for July. If this resonates with you, I hope it helps you. This will just be what happens if you sleepwalk through life, though, but I think it looks pretty good. The only piece of advice I have is that make sure you have really good boundaries in a situation. Okay. And it's okay if you kind of need to go back to the drawing board because there's some delays in life and you need to play it small. Maybe you're not sure about how far you want to go in a situation. The most important thing is that you have good boundaries and let other people around you know I'm overwhelmed and it's a bit of a struggle right now. Yeah. All right, Leo, I'm always listening to the universe for you. Take care of yourselves, Lion Gang. I really love you guys. I'll see you next time.